Winter Wonderland, Germany.
Wine fields of France.
Follow me on my journey living outside the box. What an introduction in my video. I hope my microphone is working now. Yeah. Welcome to a new episode of Travelers Guide. 2 weeks ago we had a mission, me and my girlfriend. We had to bring a van, a Volkswagen, from north of Germany to the south of Spain. We were 3 nights, 4 days on the road. Unfortunately, my lazy ass was not checking the audio every evening like I am supposed to do. My new audio setup, my new microphone was unfortunately not working. That's why you see me here now. Back in Germany, in northern Germany, and I'm gonna do a bit of storytelling now. It all started on a Friday evening. We planned to leave on the Saturday morning. In the Friday evening, suddenly a snowstorm hit Germany. It was pretty much snow suddenly, and was a bit chaos. Three months in cold old Germany. Time to go on a road trip. Winter Wonderland, Germany. Unfortunately we have to leave, or we want to leave. Here it's 2 degrees and snowy, and in south of Spain we have 24 degrees and sun. This is the baby we are using for this. More than 3,000 kilometers from northern Germany until the southern tip of Spain with this baby. Wish us good luck. I thought I would need my sunglasses, not yet. I thought I would need them more in the south of Europe. But like this, with the reflecting snow, it's much better to have sunglasses. So we didn't know if we should leave this morning or tomorrow morning. But yeah, we prefer to leave now. The earlier the better. Now the sun is out and it's pretty good weather. We have good conditions to ride. I am happy to be in Spain soon. If this is not a good sign to leave Germany, then I don't know. We're not planning anything. Filled the tank, downloaded an app which is called Park for Night. 1 hour in our journey we decided that our first stop is gonna be Trier. The cool thing about the German Autobahn for sure is that most of times we could drive without speed limit. I mean with the van. It was not possible to break the speed limit anyways. We could run smoothly down Germany. And yeah, our first destination was Trier. So we drove from northern Germany all the way until Trier, which is the oldest town in Germany, which I also learned at this point. I googled before a bit and checked out. It was anyway on the way, and it's in the corner of Germany, France and Luxembourg. It was built back from the Romans back in the days. We just planned to stop there for an hour or something to drink a coffee, snack something, so I have tea time, and then we would have continued to our next destination. I searched on the roads via Google for a nice parking spot. We didn't have much time in Trier. I decided to take a parking spot near the main attraction. We had like just a 3-minute walk to the Porta Nigra, which which is a huge building. It's unbelievable that people back in those days were already able to build this kind of architecture. It's insane. We checked it out from outside. It was amazing. We could also have entered for a few euros, but we didn't have enough time, or a bit of time pressure. Then we were strolling through the city a bit, and it was crazy because it's in this three-country corner, Dreiländereck we call it in German. That's why there's a lot of tourists and a lot of people who are doing day trips or who even work in Trier, who are coming from France or from Luxembourg. It was very interesting, very multicultural. On the streets people were speaking English, French and Luxembourg. We were getting a coffee, getting some snacks. And then we spotted a pretty nice looking church. So I like to go into churches when I travel and do day trips or even longer trips, and I see a church. If it's open and for free, I always try to enter. I always enter, and just to feel the vibes and the energy and to check out the architecture. It was pretty nice. It was a very big complex. You can get lost inside. And yeah, we spent like 20 minutes, 25 minutes in the church, checking out the church, before we had to head back to the car. At this point we had to make a decision because the benzene prices, the diesel prices in France, they are notoriously known as very high. So yeah, we decided to fill up the tank in Germany before we are crossing the border to Luxembourg and going through France. And we hope that we are gonna be able to go with our full tank through whole of France, because in Spain the benzene is gonna be a bit cheaper again, even cheaper than in Germany. Then we decided our next stop on the way. We crossed whole of France in the evening and it was getting dark. Yeah, we decided to make our first stop in Dijon, but we haven't seen much of it. We reached it at night around 11 o'clock, and we checked out 2 parking spots which we found in Park 4 Night. Yeah, the one was announced as a very calm, nice parking spot for vans, but we didn't like it. It was not so quiet. There was a lot of action going on. That's why we decided to go to another public parking spot, but which fitted very good. It was very calm, seemed very safe. That's a point which you hear about France. I was worrying a bit about this before, that in France and in north of Spain that there's sometimes a problem with criminals who try to rob you, or they manipulate your car or something, so that you're forced to stop. Then the people are coming and stealing your car or parts of your car or parts out of your car. But I must say the app Park 4 Night is very good. You see really what the parking spot is offering. It's pretty comfortable to have a van like this. You just adjust the seats and the bench in the back, you put it down and you have a bed. And we had a very nice Nordic blanket, so we even didn't depend on the heaters, and we could sleep almost perfectly in this van. I was surprised how comfortable it is. We were driving the whole day. We decided to go to bed early and wake up early to have the most of the next day and continue our journey. The next morning we woke early up, around 5:30, 6 o'clock, when the sun went up. We were also awake. For sure the first plan was to get a coffee and a croissant in France. After the croissant and the cafe, we had to make clear where our next destination would be, and we decided that we try to catch the sunset at the southern coast of France.
The wine fields of France.
Here's where all your wine comes from, guys. Basically, this is how it looks all the time. So it's 400 kilometers, wine fields and historical houses, small old houses, village after village. We drove through the countryside of France because we wanted to avoid the tolls, which are a lot in France, and because we wanted to see more of the country. It was beautiful, all the channels, the famous channels and the wine fields in France. It was amazing. The weather was good after the snow chaos in Germany. Yeah, it started raining after a while a bit when we were on the roads around midday or something. And there was a hitchhiker, a young guy, and we decided to pick him up, to take him with us. He had a backpack, so I had a bit of nostalgia when I was the first time in Thailand with my friend. And yeah, we also didn't like to take always taxis or public transport or something, so we tried, or sometimes there was not even, so we often tried to hitchhike, and it worked pretty well. So this time I decided to give a bit karma back, and yeah, we were stopping and taking this guy with us, and he was telling us a bit of a story that he's from Italy, that he's always working in this area in France on the wine fields. Obviously now it was not the season for the grapes, so they were starting the weeding of the fields and cutting and pruning, and he would stay all the season. He told me it's very lucrative and it's a nice job, it's hard work and it's everyday work, but he's doing this since years and he knew the area pretty well and gave us some tips and tricks for the next time. But this time we didn't have enough time for more than stopping an hour in some nice places and continuing. Yeah, we dropped him off 20 kilometers later or something, because he had to go inland and we had to go further straight. It was a pretty cool experience. This is only happening if you are doing stuff like this. Like if you would go into a plane and board a plane and fly somewhere and go out of the plane, not much things are happening on the way, but if you are doing it this way, you always have the opportunity to experience special things, which I like a lot. Then we continued through the Pyrenees of France and all the mountains and the serpentines. It was crazy. It was very exhausting to drive this road, but it was doable at the end if you take care, if you don't overestimate yourself. It's not a problem. Let's go up this tower here. Even though we had time pressure, I wanted to stop somewhere and check out this mountain villages. It's, for me, always when I see this kind of stuff, I mean, this is also pretty beautiful near where I grew up, but it's a totally different reality for me. Like, I always try to imagine myself what would have happened with me if I would have grown up there, or if I would have lived there for a significant amount of time in my life. It's beautiful. It's amazing to imagine yourself in the situations. So yeah, we decided to stop in one of those towns. If I remember right, it was called Millau. It had a big river through the town, a lot of nice old architecture like we saw everywhere in France. Yeah, there were a lot of people. Seemed like there was a bit of tourism going on even. Yeah, we have spring, so the more south you get in Europe, the more warm, or the warmer it becomes. Yeah, the earlier the tourism starts. Here we don't have much tourism. Maybe in high season summer. There were a lot of people, it was a very nice scenery, so we decided to stop. Yeah, I took out the GoPro to film a bit and tell you a bit about my impressions there, about the vibe in this area. It was like a river going through a valley with some bridges going over the river. There were like sport courts, there was a rugby court, there was a soccer pitch. People were playing there, some people were playing with frisbee, others were playing soccer. One guy who put a speedboat, a small remote controlled boat on the river. A lot of people walking their dogs. The air was so fresh and the water was cold, and it was amazing. All the mountains. But yeah, we had to get out of the valley again. We had to get uphill again, and after that again downhill. So we had to hurry up and continue to the south coast of France, in Leucate. It was a beautiful place. There was a long, relaxed, quiet way to the beach. We had a beautiful sunset over there. We spent there around 40 minutes or something. Would have been also a very nice spot to spend the night there, but we wanted to reach our next checkpoint in the north of Spain already this night, so that we can start fresh from there the next morning. And we decided to spontaneously visit another town near the place we wanted to sleep in North Spain. So the better idea would have been, like we did, that we enjoy the sunset and after that we leave Leucate and we continue to the night spot we wanted to reach. The next morning when we woke up in Roses, pretty nice parking spot, walking distance to the beach. The night was perfectly, the reviews were again not disappointing, there was not a problem at all, except that a dog was shitting in front of our door of the van, so yeah, luckily no one of us was jumping in it. For sure we wanted to check out the promenade and the beach and the marinas of Roses, so we decided to grab a coffee and some breakfast in Roses, and we checked out the harbor a bit, the marinas and the beaches. And yeah, it was very nice. It's a very nice town. Was not much on because it's spring, it's not summer. In summer I can imagine that the tourism there is exploding. Yeah, after we enjoyed a bit time in Roses and we checked out the nice coast, we decided to go to Cadiz. It's a pretty famous destination in the north of Spain, and it's a very cute small village which has a lot of white buildings and several small beaches and a lot of boats in the marinas there. But the road there was very exhausting. It was crazy, with a van for sure, and was even more exhausting than it would have been with a normal car. It was again like a lot of serpentines, downhill, uphill, and the clutch and the brakes, they were not so happy about this route, but there's no other route, you have to take it.
This could be an episode for most dangerous roads in the world.
In Cadiz, we were again lucky with the app Park for Night. It's not just working for night, also for daytime. We found free parking spots at the coast, so that we didn't have to walk much. We just drove down completely until the coast, until the water edge. When we left the car, we realized it's freaking windy in Cadiz. It was pretty cold, but still we decided to stroll a bit through the coast, through the village, and check it out a bit. After spending like 2 hours or something in Cadiz and doing a bit of sightseeing and checking out the vibes and the energy there, we decided to continue and yeah, for sure reach our next destination where we wanted to sleep, the third and last night before we were reaching the south of Spain. Yeah, one thing, I had 2 friends which were parallel with us, kind of driving. Like the one, he was doing how do we say, like a van transfer. He had to pay €1, I guess. He was bringing the van for the people. Also a cool thing for you guys if you don't have a van and you want to do this. Like there's an app which is called midi here in Europe or in Germany. I guess you have it in all of Europe. And yeah, they have like deals like this. And there's a company which wanted to have the van from one location. They wanted to have it in another location because they had probably a shortcut of vans in this location. So he had to bring the car from Munich to Milan. And he had a week time and certain amount of kilometers which he was allowed to use. For sure the benzene he had to pay himself, but still it's a pretty nice opportunity. And I had even other friends which came also from near Hamburg. I was not filming this because we were in a hurry. We were just drinking coffee with them near Valencia, and then we continued to our sleeping spot for this night. We decided to spend our night like a few kilometers before Valencia, because from Valencia on we had to go inland, because we had to go with a van to the technical inspection services to import it into Spain, the German car. Yeah, that's why we decided to sleep before Valencia. It all was surrounded by salt fields and orange orchards. Before we reached even the campsite, I jumped out of the car and got 3 oranges or something. And in the salt fields we were seeing flamingos. They were already pretty wet. small side facts. I don't know if I'm right, but as far as I know, they are becoming red because of their nutrition, because they are eating small red crabs, and the color of the crabs is going in their feather color. Pretty cool. Amazing spot, which we also find on Park 4 Nights. I hope you guys can hear me because these geese are shouting into my vlog. Hey! That worked out. Yeah, then we were sleeping in a beautiful spot at the beach with a lot of other people around there. There were like 30 vans, 30 caravans or something. And it was really, this time it was directly at the beach. It was amazing to sleep there, to have the ocean breeze and to have this community feeling with that other people are doing the same like you do. There were people sitting in the van with a laptop, working probably, and there were like families, couples, and even singles with a dog or something. It was amazing. When we woke up in Casablanca, we were able to catch the sunrise. It was such a beautiful atmosphere. You are already outside, no? You are sleeping anyway in the van. You anyway want to use all the day, so if you adjust your environment, then there is no other option. Klar, discipline is also not bad, but if you imagine it's Saturday morning, you have no plans, you have no work, no nothing, and you would like to see the sunrise. Even if you put the alarm and even if you wake up at this time, probably you would hit snooze and sleep and don't give a damn about the sunrise. Even though you would regret it later today, but still you would probably, most of you would not do it. But if you are doing this kinds of trips and you're anyway out of your comfort zone, you're sleeping in a van, you're anyway already kind of outside, and you want to use all the daylights and all the day, then it's almost effortless to wake up at this time, no? I love it. So we woke up with the sunrise and we continued our journey to the town where the technical inspection was, like the Destiny wants it. Before we even reached the technical inspection, there was the lights blinking in the car and there was written oil pressure is not right. If the oil pressure is not working proper, then yeah, you should turn the car off in the best case and not move it anymore, because it can break all your engine completely. But yeah, I knew that there's like electronical issues with this kind of cars anyway, so I was not so worried, but we decided to stop in a workshop at a mechanic and yeah, just get an advice from them what we should do. And when the guy came to our car, he said already it's typical with this kind of cars to have these issues, like a wrong error. There was not a problem. He was checking the oil and was listening to the engine. He said everything is fine, you can continue. So yeah, at this point we were happy that we could continue. Yeah, we went to the inspection place. There everything was very smoothly, no catastrophes, nothing. We passed the inspection without any problems. And from there on we just had the last 4 hours of ride to our destination, Cadiz. We were pretty happy to reach our destination Cadiz after this 4 days and 3 nights of continuously driving from snow to spring and then almost summer. For me it was feeling like almost summer in the south of Spain. The new owner of the van was very happy. Yeah, I was happy that our mission was completed. It was an amazing trip. I am very happy that I did this and that I had the opportunity to do this. And I like it even more when I have a mission on this. It was very nice. To bring the van down there, and I recommend everyone who were thinking about this or who's traveling Europe, just rent a van, yeah, download an app. I highly recommend you to do it. For me as a first timer, although yeah, that we had to rush a bit, it was amazing, and for sure I will take this as inspiration for myself, and I will do it with more time and a bit more planning in the next year for sure. I'm gonna repeat this. If you wanna do this, there are just a few points which you have to take care of, which is the prices of the toll, if you want to avoid them or not, what I recommend, because it's anyway much more nice to drive through the countryside. Yeah, you can just do it in Google Maps, you just click on avoid tolls and then you are not gonna pay them. In Germany we don't have them really, but you have them in a lot of other European countries. Then the benzene and diesel prices. I mean, if money is not playing a Rolex for you, then you don't have to care about this point, but yeah, in Germany the benzene is a bit cheaper than, or much cheaper than in France, for example. In Spain it's even more cheaper than in France and Germany. In Luxembourg was also pretty cheap benzene, so this is also a point which you should consider taking care of if you are doing a road trip through Europe. And another thing is the camping. Like, for sure there are a lot of paid campsites where you have a shower and water access and electricity access, which is pretty nice. I don't know, every second day or every third day it would be nice to have this for sure, to freshen up yourself. We had such a short trip that we didn't need this, so we decided to just free camp everywhere. And yeah, here again I recommend the app Park4Night, and maybe even the Pro version. My friends were using the Pro version and they were pretty happy with this. What I did in Australia back in the days when I did this kind of road trips, I was also always camping on free campsites, because why not? It's a cool experience. But if you have to shower then, or need access to water or something, you just go to a public swimming pool. You pay your 2 or 3 or 4 euro for the entrance, and then you have a nice shower, you brush your teeth, and you have a nice swim, maybe even before you continue your journey. So what was this for a nice sight? Yeah, so in conclusion, 100% recommended. It's even easy budgetable with apps like My Deals, where you can get these deals to transfer a van from A to B in Europe, or apps like Park4Night, where you can find recommendation and reviews for very nice overnight parking spots, sleeping spots, and even daytime parking spots, which are cheap or even for free. Yeah, much more you don't need. Thank you for watching this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed, even though the audio was not working. I hope I could recap my journey good enough. We are storytelling here. I enjoyed this trip a lot. Stay tuned for the next episodes, where I check out a bit the south of Spain. The videos are coming up the next weeks. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you have some questions or some ideas, don't hesitate to comment. Feel free to give me a thumb up. See you the next time, guys. Thank you for watching. Peace out. And the big thanks goes to my partners in crime, the geese, for the collaboration. Thank you for lending me your voice.